change is a-coming to my lightweight carry. As you can obviously tell, SIG 365 XL is going to replace my Diamondback AM2 most likely as my lightweight carry, of course keeping the Ground Power K100, but I wanted to go over why the changes are and what some of the changes are and show you a new company that I wasn't familiar with. Coming up next on GBGuns. So coincidentally, about the same time I got a print assignment that's going to require me to spend some more time with the 365 XL. Not this one in particular, but this is the one that I have on hand. I had contact from a company called Warcat Tactical. New to the scene, these guys are currently doing holsters with plans to expand to many other accessories in the future. And they said, we've got some holsters, and you know, I get offers like this quite often. I generally decline because I don't really care for doing holster reviews. Holster selection is totally a personal choice, personal preference. Even when you know what to look for, does it fit you or not, is kind of up to you, really, and what you're carrying, how you're carrying, where you're carrying it. But doing some more research, these guys piqued my interest. This appendix inside the waistband holster comes with the claw and a pad, kind of reminds me of the old Mitch helmet pads for the backside, ready for optics. It's lighter, stronger, and more heat resistant than your standard Kydex material. It's a slightly different material, and they're retailing for, at the time of this video, $17.76. That is really, really affordable. So I said yes. They sent a couple. This is the appendix one that I'm going to use most likely more often than the others. And pulling it out of the bag, first thing I noticed, aside from the claw already being there and the pad, is this material feels really nice. And the edges are all soft. There's no sharp, rough edges. Back in the custom Kydex days when that was all the rage, that was one of the things you'd find is there'd be an edge, usually up here. This is what goes against the stomach, or something that would snag on you. And this is really nicely built. Drop the gun in there, and of course adjustable retention, but it's got great retention, and you can see there's plenty of room for the red dot. I'm not going to dot most likely, just because that seems like a great spot for dust to collect on something that I want to be clear should I need it. But taking a look at the fitment and the cut here, got nothing in the way of getting a good draw grip coming out of the gun. I have noticed a little bit of rub on the slide here, not too worried about that. Holsters are always going to rub, and it might just be the way that I've been drawing and holstering this while testing it out at home. Originally I was thinking I was going to bombard you guys with some cool action shots and some dynamic music of me drawing on the range and all that. But the fact of the matter is, I have hundreds of hours of training strong side, none appendix. So we're going to wait on showing that appendix, but this is going to be my new lightweight carry when I'm not wearing heavier clothes. And they also included an outside the waistband, which in the 365 XL may be a bit of a small gun. But then again, part of why we love the 365 XL is this is 15 rounds, 3.7 inch barrel. It's practically a compact gun. It just fits and rides smaller. But you see we've got a nice little flare here to stay out of the way when holstering. Very nice fitment. It's branded so you can remember who the heck it is. I'm sure many of you have been through that same struggle where you've got a great holster, or maybe something broke on the holster and you want to reach out to the company and there's no name anywhere on it and you can't remember where you got it from. But impressive fit and finish and feature on these Warcat Tacticals for an incredible price. And they're made in Idaho. This is not some Chinesium thing. This is US made. Really nice material. I'm pretty impressed so far. Now I'll go over, now that I've told you about Warcat, some of this 365 XL and what's going on there. Alright, so I've got a long-term assignment that is going to require me to get a lot more familiar with these things. That combined with having these Warcat Tactical holsters to spend a lot more time carrying. If you saw our really old by this time review of the SIG 365 XL, really liked it. Was a little bit snappy, as most small guns are. I want to spend more time with it and see if I can't convert it into something a little more range-worthy, as in for extended sessions. So, this is step 1, believe it or not, from Zev. This is the 365 XL barrel, and though this barrel is nowhere near worn out, in fact it's really hard to wear out a barrel that small, Zev mentions that they changed some of the geometry on the barrel hood and some of the lockup there, so it should make for smoother cycling. That I'm going to have to test and see. I'm not running it in the gun currently because I haven't shot it yet, and I don't carry anything that I haven't shot. And then the other one, followers of the channel know that I'm a big fan of these DPM systems. It's a progressive multi-spring system that, at least in other pistols, prevents the slide from bottoming out. That's when it gets all the way to the rear. That impact there is where most of your perceived recoil comes from in pistol shooting. We've done a lot of slow-mo footage and seen it happen, and that's when the gun gets rocked out of your hand. So if I can stop that, that'll be great. It also progressively slows down on the way back, progressively accelerates on the way forward, makes for flatter shooting. So we'll do a video on that stuff, testing it out and seeing what kind of difference it makes. You'll get my opinion and Miss Tia's, and that's where we're also going to start running some of this Warcat tactical stuff. She is much more of an appendix carrier than I am. Like I said, after hundreds of hours of training strong side's what I know really well. But the cool kids appendix carry. Something about making people stare at your crotch? No, joking. Anyways, it was time that I get some more experience with it, and such a slim gun in such a nicely built holster, it just makes sense. So watch for upcoming videos, a little more on that. If you're wondering why move to this from the Diamondback AM2, aside from my assignment that's just going to require more hand time and range time with the XL, 15 rounds, 3.7 inch barrel, and it's roughly the same thickness. I don't like to carry below a 4-inch barrel, but sometimes you've got to for, like, warm weather. Obviously this is late fall. Well, we're in fall of 2021 right now, so may not be a lot of application for this, but I also spend a lot of time indoors, and that requires lighter clothing, and that means smaller guns. So this gives me a little more capacity than the AM2, and almost 4-inch barrel energy, so most rounds should perform okay out of it. We'll get more time with it, and there'll be more on that discussion and thought coming up. But interesting change. Mainly wanted to tell you about these guys because I was really impressed. When they first reached out, I was a little resistant, just kind of tired of getting holsters thrown at me. But very, very nicely made. And then once they went public with their pricing, I don't know if it's introductory pricing or not. I can warn you that their current offerings of holster fitment is a little limited. They don't have all of the latest Rage stuff done yet. But for less than 20 bucks to get a decent holster, that's just outstanding. So big shout out to Warcat Tactical there. And we'll see you guys in the next video.